going on, guys? We're out here setting some traps today, and I wanted to show y'all this layout right here. There's a woven wire fence that runs along the entire property boundary, and the only spot that the coyotes have to come through is right here. And I trapped this place last year, and I caught, I think I caught like 4 right here off this gate crossing, and it's a really good spot. It's a pinch point. It funnels down all the way down from way up there, all the way down through here. They have no place to cross up through here, so the only place they have for them to cross is right here. So we're going to put in a dirt hole right here and see what we can do. Alright guys, I already put one dirt hole set in over there. I got ahead of myself, didn't film that one, but we'll try to film this. I was going to put in a pipe dream here, but heck, we'll go ahead and put in another step. But my idea on this one, I'm going to do the same thing that I've done over that one out there. I use this big dirt clump right here as my backing. I don't want to go straight into this one right here because I have this little clump here. I'm going to go right in between them. And that way it'll cut off that coyote's way of coming in to hit this trap from both sides. That way he'll have to come around this way and hopefully step on my trap to access the hole. That's my thinking behind it. I don't know how good it'll work, but it worked last year, so I'm expecting it to work again this year. I guess we'll find out. I'm a little carried away on my trap bed there, but I'm eager to get these things in this year. I've been waiting all year for this. To it. I don't want to make my hole going straight down. I don't want it to go at a 45. I want it to be more like a 20. Going in like that. That way that coyote can't come in from here to here and look down that hole and see what he sees. I want him to have to come around all the way around this way or this way and have his nose going right in that hole. That's my theory behind that. And alright, whenever you go to set your trap right here, my rule of thumb is you want to be from the rim of the hole. You want to have your trap hand from your pinky to thumb back. Mine is like 9 3/4. So 9 1/2, 9 3/4 inches back. You want your trap hand to be like right here. So I'm gonna have to dig this trap bed out. Dig it down a little bit. Yeah, should do it. Now you can see on my traps, I already have one tag on there, but I want to make sure. In Tennessee, you have to have a trap tag with either your name or address or TWRA number, either your name or your TWRA number, not your address, on your traps. And if that coyote was to somehow get that one off there, you want to have at least one more on there just in case. Because if you don't, it could be bad. Could be bad. You want to stay within the limitations of the law, wherever you are, wherever you might be. These are fresh traps this year. And on the dog, you always just want to go ahead and make sure you whack or get all the wax off your dog. If you don't, the trap could fire before it's ready to, before there's a coyote on it, or it could fire a little premature. You don't want that. Ever. Doesn't matter what you're talking about. Pull up on it and set it. And that trap isn't going anywhere. Just to show you guys, the naysayers out there, and say, oh, trapping's bad, it's breaking their legs, it's cruel to the animals. I thought so too. Before I started getting into it, I really did. I thought it was bad for it. So I bought some traps, and I was like, before I go out and set these out, I want to make sure that it's not going to hurt the animal. And you can see there, it doesn't hurt. The initial jolt is kind of iffy about it, but once it's on there, it doesn't hurt at all. It's like a handcuff. I could sit here, I could walk around all day with this thing on my hand and it wouldn't affect me at all. It's just like a handcuff. Just be an inconvenience. I'm not in pain, not hurting. There's nothing wrong with this. I've let a few people's house dogs go out of these things. I've let fox go, I've let raccoons go, and they run off like nothing's wrong. I promise. There's nothing wrong with this. That's the last thing I want to do is hurt an animal. Believe it or not. There's going to be a lot of naysayers out there that say, oh, trappers just do it for fun. Trappers do it they do it to hurt the animal. They get enjoyment out of it. No, that couldn't be any more further from the truth than what it is. This time of year, you see a lot of people using wax dirt, peat moss, and whatnot. Freeze thaw. I mean, it is an issue. I don't have any access to wax dirt, so I use peat moss. But I like to mix salt with my peat moss, just because it kind of takes the one step out of it. If I was just using salt and peat moss, I would put salt in first and the peat moss, but I mix it before I do it. So that's just me. Kind of figure out where your levers are going to be, and I like to come in and make a little flat spot for them. Just gives it a little bit better, a little easier whenever you go to bed your trap, because whenever you do go to bed your trap, you want your traps to be bedded solid. Because if they are not solid, you're going to end up without any catches. That cow's going to come in there, it's going to rock on that trap. You're going to say, hey, there's something down there. I need to see what that is. And you're going to come back the next day, and instead of having a coyote in your set, you're going to have a dug-up trap. And you're going to be sitting there saying words only a pirate would say. You have to do what you have to do to get this thing bedded solid. I don't care if you got to use your whole dang bucket of peat moss, throw more dirt on it, and layer the salt on that sucker, but you got to have a solid trap. You want to be able to press on that and not see it moving at all. See how it's moving? Yeah. What I do, if it is moving like that, I'll come around and I'll pack in peat moss, or take a little bit of dirt, throw in the corner like that. Put some peat moss on top of it and then pack it. And I personally haven't had any issues with them freezing up. But I'm not saying by doing this it will freeze up. I'm just saying I haven't had any issues with it. That right there is just about where it needs to be. Right there is pretty good if you ask me. What I like to do is I just take a dirt clump, put it right on the pan. That way I know where the pan's at. Come back there with the peat moss, cover it. There we go. Now I know where my pan's at. I just want to go around, pat it, make sure everything on top is nice and level. Take that off. So. Maybe leave it a little bit lower right on your pan. Maybe give that coyote a place to step. Something else I like to do while I'm thinking about it is right here, about, 3 inches in front of that, I like to make a little lip right here. Because that coyote is not going to want to step on this lip. I kind of want to make him a place where he's going to put his foot, make him want to put his foot down back here somewhere instead of there. Hopefully he'll put his foot down right there on my pan. Take a little bit of this dirt right here, blend your trap. we go. Now you want to come back in with some dirt clumps, not rocks. Don't use little rocks. Because if the rock gets caught in between the jaws of the trap, the coyote's going to have wiggle room to get out of there. Because I know my pan is right there. Just a rock or a little dirt clump up here. Some more around it. Like that. When that coyote comes in to investigate it, he's not going to want to step on any sticks or anything like that. And take a stick like this right here and just shove it right there. Make sure he won't step right there. Maybe he'll come in and hopefully he'll come in and put his foot right in the middle. You want to kind of guide that coyote to put his foot right there. And right there will be a little excessive. We're just going to angle it up a little bit. That right there is the set. Now we're going to bait this thing up. Bait that one over there up, and I'll show you all the finished product.
Alright guys, got us the first night catch. Big old bobcat here in Tennessee. Happy to get this guy out of the population. Alright, we'll get him taken care of and get right back with you for the remake.
Alright guys, we got that bobcat taken care of. Pretty happy with that. First night check. You can see I had my pipe there. Come back in, already cleaned out my trap bed, got it bedded with peat moss pretty good. Make sure I got my trap tags on there. And we're good to go. That's the thing about these bobcats around here. A lot of people don't think they're here, but there's a lot more bobcats around here than what people think. And that's for sure. I ended up catching, I think, 6 coyotes off this property last year. I'm hoping for coyotes, but if I can catch a bobcat too, I'll take it. Get that trap bed as solid as you can. It doesn't matter what you have to do to that trap. Just make sure it gets bedded solid. This place stinks. Tell where that cat's been. Alright, there we go. A little more peat moss. I always like to take something to show me where the pan's at. That way I'm not putting anything big on the pan. We'll put that stick up there for right now. Just pat it down real nice. Make sure that it's nice and covered. Okay. I'm going to take that stick off there. Because I got everything around it patted down pretty solid. I'm going to take a pair of scissors. We'll come in here with some grass. I'm just going to put very more peat moss on there. So, I'm going to come in and trim this up real good. You got to do the best you can on rebedding or reblending these traps, especially on the remake. I don't believe that trap was in this trap too long. Try to use some of the leaves as guiding. Hopefully guide a coyote or another bobcat or whatever the case may be back into my set. And this grass was fluffed up around that yesterday. Do that again. Alright. That is it for that set. Now we'll go back in and add some more bait to it. I'm not going to put any lure out because this cat has already put enough lure out here to last me a week. So I'm not going to worry about that. Caught that cat on some of my bait that I made up this year. Seems to be doing pretty good. Down the hole. Alright, they're calling for some heavy rain the next couple of days, so I'm really not going to worry about making it perfect. I'm going to come in after it rains and redo everything anyway. But that's that. Alright, look at that. Got us another cat today. First night setting this farm. I had real good luck here last year. I actually put this set in yesterday. I filmed it. I might put it in the video. But there's a crossing right there. That's the only place for any coyote, bobcat, any kind of predator whatsoever to come through this fence. Is right there in that low spot. I caught this cat on a dirt hole, and I have another dirt hole set right here. Looks like I didn't have anything mess with it. But, alright, good deal. We'll get this guy taken care of, and I'll show you all the remake. Got a little ahead of myself there. Once I took care of that cat, I went ahead and started remaking the set, and I was thinking, well, heck, kind of need to film it. Yeah, we got the cat taken care of, and while I was down here messing with this trap, there was a whole bunch of turkeys take off up through the field up above me. And I remember I watched a video here not too long ago of Coon Creek Outdoors. He got on there and he posted a video asking us why. It was kind of a challenge, I guess. He was asking us why we got into trapping. What got you into trapping? Who inspired you to get into trapping? Well, the honesty behind it is nobody inspired me to get into trapping. I just wanted to do it myself. The reason why I wanted to get into it is because of the turkey numbers and the deer numbers around here just got so low. You used to be able to ride around and see fields standing full of turkeys, standing full of deer, see fawns during the summer, poults. And the last probably 7 or 8 years, everybody around in this area can attest to it. There just wasn't any. Well, I tried calling them and I haven't had any luck with it. So I decided to go ahead and start trapping. Well, I got into it last year. And I had pretty good success last year. I caught several critters, but over the summer I got a phone call from a guy I was trapping on that said he seen poults on his property for the first time in probably 10 years. And that made me feel accomplished. Made me feel accomplished because I got in there and I accomplished my goal of what I wanted to do. I wanted to get in there and clear out some nest predators, clear out some coyotes, bobcats, do whatever. But anyway, that was my reason for getting into trapping. Now we're going to talk about this set. I had a dirt hole set. My dirt hole was going down right there into that grass clump. But because everything is matted out and the way it is now, I'm just going to go ahead and bed my trap out here. I made a new hole. I did have a drill yesterday, but I left it at the house today. I honestly wasn't expecting to catch anything on my first night. And lo and behold, I've caught 2 bobcats today. But instead, we're just going to run my driver down in the ground right there, and we're going to come out here, do the same thing like I done yesterday, do the same thing I do on all my dirt hole sets, pipe dream sets, do whatever. You want to come about 9.5 inches off that hole, and you want your trap pan to be around right in here. Kind of got carried away on my trap bed, but that's okay. It might take a little more effort to get it set and get it packed in there, but it's okay. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. Let's see. And I have it about right there. Yeah, right there will be good. Come in there, make a little flat spot, kind of like a landing for your levers. Make it a little easier whenever it goes to bed in the trap. Just fill the bottom of the hole with peat moss. The peat moss, my peat moss is already mixed with salt. That way it keeps it from freezing and it keeps the water pushed off up best it can. They're calling for some heavy rain in the next couple of days, so I'm really not putting a lot of faith in catching anything. But just in case something does come through, I want this trap to be able to go. I want this trap still to be able to fire, and I don't want anything to get away. We're not necessarily targeting bobcats, but they kill turkeys, they kill deer, they kill everything else just the same way as a coyote will. Still gonna need a lot more peat moss. Now last year, when it came to bobcats, you were only allowed to have one bobcat a day. You're only allowed to keep one bobcat in your possession a day. And this year, it's unlimited. If you're trapping, it's unlimited. But it says on there for small game regulations, you're only allowed one. But if you're trapping, you're allowed unlimited a day. I don't know why, but I think it's a good idea, because there are more bobcats around here than what people give credit for. I'll stand by that. Okay, find your pan, press down all around it, because you want the ground to be level, somewhat hard. See how my jaw is sticking up a little bit right there? I'll come back in like this. Just build that side up a little bit. Dig down, find your pan, smash down all around it, make sure it's nice and get it the way it needs to be. Get it nice and level. Nice hard ground all the way around it. Alright, just like that. Now what I like to do is come in with a stick right beside of your pan. Just kind of run it right down in the ground. If you're not careful, you're going to get yourself. But that way I'll know where my pan's at whenever I go to sift in some dirt and blend the trap. Okay? I don't have any dirt or anything like that around here, so I'm going to go over here and get some dirt real quick. I'm going to come back in, just give it a light cover, make sure to blend in everything around it. Because this peat moss is not natural to coyotes, to bobcats, to anything. Alright, and the only thing I don't like about this set is how there's an opening in between that grass clump and where up there. So I'm going to bring this stuff in and make it to where a coyote or a bobcat is not going to want to step on that. Something else I like to do is right here in front of my trap, in front of my pan, I like to make a little lip right there. I like to make a little lip because, believe it or not, a coyote, bobcat, whatever, 9 times out of 10 they're not going to step on that lip. Something else they're not going to step on is going to be little dirt clumps, little pieces of rock, little rock pieces, little whatever. I just like to kind of bring it around and guide him in to this low spot right there. I want a coyote, bobcat, whatever to step right there. You don't want to overdo it with your guiding, but you want to have enough in there to where he's not going to think twice about it. Alright, that right there should make that set. All I'm going to do is throw some of my bait back down in the hole. I've made my own bait this year, but if you're looking for a good bait, Ryu Sat's fail step is probably, in my opinion, about the best you can get for the money. Yeah, see, that's the can I had it in last year. Well, that's the can it came in last year, but this year it's my own stuff. I'm just reusing the can. Get you a big glob of that. Throw it down the hole. Get it as far down in the hole as you can, because you don't want to come back in here and have your bait and lure be robbed, or your bait be robbed. Because if it is, you might not be able to tell it. You want it to make it as hard on a bobcat, hard on a coyote, fox, whatever you might be trapping. You want to make it as hard on them to get what's in the hole as possible, because the whole time he's digging to get whatever's out of there, his feet's going to be doing this number. Whether it's his front foot, his back foot, it doesn't matter. As long as you get him by a foot, you're good. Take some sheep's wool, throw it down the hole. And there's enough lure and whatnot around here to last a week. On that other set where I caught the other cat, I didn't put any lure out, but I want to put some Caven's Gusto on this. There's enough urine, and he's left me enough little prizes around here to where I won't need to use anything for a while. You just shove that in the grass clump right there, and that's enough to bring in, hopefully, the next bobcat, coyote, fox, whatever it is that might run through here. But all right, we're gonna head on back to the first shed and take care of these cats, and hopefully go set some more traps. Thank you.